Welcome, Screen Fame fans. Let's talk about this. The the Acolyte episode 3 review. Wow, we already had right wing conservative people and left wing liberals going back and forth, and every time they do, whatever's in the middle gets destroyed and crushed. But my goodness, is this getting the worst attack I've ever seen? Disney and Star Wars have done something amazing here. They've managed to unify Star Wars fans with the people who were just hating the project. Star Wars fans don't normally align themselves with the right wing conservative people, but everybody is pretty much upset with this third episode of the series so far. Now, you might say that and ask yourself, why? Why would someone get upset over this third act? Because it's a series, it's not really done or explained. It's like you're following a story and we're trying to see how it played out. Is this is basically going back to explain what is happening with the two twins. Last week they released two episodes at a time, and now they're doing one at a time. I believe this is 6 episode season. So now, if they're going to release it in this format, um, and by them trying to get us engaged in this, we try to get some backstory as to why May wants to harm four Jedi's and what did these four Jedi's do. Now we know that May was looked at as the one that caused the fire, but we try to go into the significance and the importance of these two characters, Osha and May. Now, Osha and May are both, from what I see here, Osha and May, they did a great job in casting. Yeah, they just we're gonna go over that a little later, as Power Book 4 is going to end after this season, and it should. Doesn't mean it's the end. Does not mean it's the end. It could continue on another network. 50 could take it to another place, or it may merge into a whole nother show. Tommy might go to California now. You never know. Now, here's what people didn't really realize yet. That was pretty interesting. Uh, in this series so far, they go back and you see the difference. Osha doesn't want to be a witch because they seem like a whole new band of witches, not like the Night Sisters. They something else. And you see Osha is a little different, a little caring, with the life, as you see the Boonta tree, and May is aggressive with the force. She's very forceful with it. There's her mother's work on her day defense and everything else together. But what irritated everybody is when they had that scene where the two women who were like mothers, she's like, I carried them. And then the other black woman said, nah, I created them. And I'm like, oh my God. I knew from the moment that came out of their mouths, it was all over. It was all over. And what I mean by all over, you have now pissed off every Star Wars fan there is. This is supposed to happen 100 years before You hear anything about A New Hope, about Anakin, Phantom Menace, 100 years before the Phantom Menace. So there's why there's no May and all of these people in the George Lucas saga. They're long gone. So now you're looking at this scenario, and when you're looking at this scenario here, it's a whole gigantic mess. And the reason it's a gigantic mess is for a simple reason. Um, that threw a monkey wrench into it because now you're treading on what we already know of what Star Wars is supposed to be. Anakin was special because he was created by the Force. Now they're making it look like anybody can. Let's take two light-skinned black twins that we that we can use for our liberal message of promoting BLM, Black Lives Matter, by just making them the star in a shitty movie or a ridiculous scene here. Episode 3 was kind of just awful. It has some intriguement to it. You were intrigued to see what was going to happen and why they were there, but the answers you got was just like, what? I mean, the spaceships look cheesy with the CGI, the little boomta thing that look like I was watching, Fantasia, what's that, Fantasia, whatever, Disney's Fantasia back in like 1980s again. It was like, wow. Right, they're treading on original material from Star Wars. You can't do that. And once you start stepping on lines and crossing them, now all of a sudden, here's a Jedi who's hunting, wanting to find these witches because they're not supposed to be training children. And they see two kids there, so they come in there and they're policing the Force. These witches hadn't broken any crimes. They don't seem to have done anything. So they were like, hey, you know the law. You can't do this and that. It's like, look, they're just protecting their covenant and doing whatever they're doing. They don't seem to be bothering anybody. They just want to be left alone to do their chants. But I'm interested to know what Tobin them did because they kind of make it look like May started the fire and it looked like she grabbed the thing like she was going to start the fire, but they never actually see her set it. So something happened. And now the Jedi seem to be at blame because I doubt May just killed all of the witches that you saw out there. Yes, it's been a lot of bad takes, bad things going on. Well, you have to look at the angles that a lot of people are taking with Star Wars. A lot of people came in with the hate, but now you got people who love Star Wars who hated this because now you're really putting them in line together with one another and you're poking fun at tradition. This actor right here, who came from Squid Game, he learned English just to play this role, and he's the best actor on the show. Not to say that Amanda is not doing a great job. It's just that her characters, even though she's playing two characters, there is a certain divide in what's happening here because the script writing and the way the storyline so far is like this one. You really didn't see anything that connects to what's actually happening now. So what we learned so far is still a mystery. Like only thing right now, we got some backstory as to what's going on with the girls. And we see that May was still alive. She got left behind after the fire. and I don't know how she survived the fall. Anyhow, and they don't even explain that. And she's on the ship, but Osha knew she wanted to be a Jedi. No, I'm like, did she ever meet a Jedi before? How does she even know what a Jedi is? And all of a sudden, she knows that's what she wants to do. They get to go out in space. I want to go out there. I don't want to be tied to you all the time. I don't want to do everything you do. So this is the story of two twins who are polar opposites. And she's like, look, we supposed to be twins forever, and Osha just ain't feeling it. So now, besides having the same hairstyle, I guess it's this hairstyle of their planet, we get this half Jewish, half black girl named Amandla playing the character of Osha. And she comes out and she's going to be the new look. Everybody wants to wear the Osha wig and have the braids come over their face and look like Osha. She's the new star. Oh my God. The Acolyte is the first live action Star Wars movie that has taken us into the depths of hell. Because episode 3 was a whole big stomping on a fire. You got the Jedi, right? They're coming to take these two kids away and say, hey, do you want to be trained as a Jedi? They're already too old to be trained. It's like, are you serious? They made it like it's not a thing. Because in episode 1, Yoda clearly says, and even in A New Hope, he's over 10. You're way too old to be trained. They take them at 4, at 2. They take them very young so they don't establish a lot of connections or attachments because they got to be able to part ways with them. So when they're too old, like 10, they are really attached to family. So they're not even supposed to be trained. That's why Anakin was a special case. Now it looks like hell, they'll train anybody they want. You're treading on. It's like George Lucas when he was scribbling all over the shit that was already perfect. It's like, George, if you want to do something, make another goddamn movie. Stop drawing on the damn movie. We don't need to see another ship go by or another goddamn animated character. You're gonna piss off Star Wars fans. So we was mad at George Lucas for doing that. Like, he's adding new scenes to the Star Wars. Now it looks ridiculous when you see it. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's like some damn lazy Muppet thing you didn't drew on there. Stop drawing over. That's already perfect. Leave it. He tampered with the sound. The Force saved her. I don't know who saved who, but that was awful. It wasn't that boring. It was intriguing to say the least. You just wanted to see something happen. I'm more intrigued, if anything, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm intrigued with this backstory. And then next thing you know, I'm just seeing them, spread an agenda and tread over everything that's Star Wars. And I'm like, oh, dude, you finna piss off every Star Wars fan. Can't piss over original content. Whenever you do something that's connected to something that is tethered, and you're tethering your show to this, even if you're saying it happened 100 years ago, you cannot do stuff that hadn't yet been presented in the future because now it's going to look stupid. You can't have all these things that we never saw before in this era, and it never pops up here. It's just like having futuristic weapons going around. And this is what I had a problem with Prey. Is Prey had a lot of good weapons that the Predator after him that came in the 80s with Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't have all that. So it's like, dude, you can't make them super powerful then and and you gonna be doing one in the past and then to now, it don't make sense. You're taking away from the original film. You're supposed to be an asset to it. You're not a detraction. That's why Rogue One worked. Rogue One worked because it didn't take away from the other Star Wars films. The ships were just ruined enough to like it blends in with the original, A New Hope. That's what you want. But you're hiring people that are not Star Wars fans, that did not grow up with Star Wars, to run Star Wars. Just give George Lucas his shit back. Say, hey, George, man, here, we sorry. We don't know what we doing. Because we at that point now. Well, everybody, when that line was said, I knew it was over. I carried them. I created them. It was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Who was in the room when they wrote this and let this go to screen? I know you don't have any Star Wars people around because that's not what that would have never flown. It'd have been like, are you trying to just make the Star Wars fans hate this? Are y'all trying to create a whole nother show and then write Star Wars on top of it to try to sell it? Because you finna piss off everybody. It ain't got nothing to do with them being gay and they women in control and see people taking it the wrong way. You're messing with the order of things. Anakin was special because he was made from the Force. There was no father. Now, hell, anybody can. Look at these two twins. They've been doing this 100 years ago. Wasn't nothing new for Anakin. He ain't special. Hell, these two might be the chosen one. Now, what it looks like from what I'm getting is that these are going to be the first dyads of the Force, like you saw with Ray and Ben. Even though they're not twins, they're not even related, but they look like a dyad in the Force. What they did with Ray and Ben, the two as one, and they could share this energy, and they had this whole energy amongst them. Now, the Emperor had absorbed their energy with his newfound powers to be able to take and absorb life from people. Now, these two look like they would have this power, and they both have be a dyad in the Force. These two twins. But it's hard. I'm gonna say it's hard. We're looking at only 3 episodes in a series. So we gotta take them step by step. I can't judge a whole series when I haven't seen the whole series yet. So far, this is as far as we got. Let Favreau do it. Well, it's so strenuous. He doesn't really want to do it full stream. He just likes the Mandalorian. He'd rather do that. And there's so much interference. Now they got a Grogu movie coming out because that's a money grab. They got to sell the merchandise, Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda was a lot better than Grogu. I don't know who created that name, but Baby Yoda was making a whole lot of illegal money. People was making Baby Yoda stuff and selling it. Yeah. Oh, it's woke, all right. It's alive. It's up and kicking. Got a cup of coffee and moving around. Oh, well, it's not that she's doing a bad job acting. It's just that so far everything is so bland and you're wondering where the hell the money went. That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, where the hell is the money? 100 and some million dollars? Oh, it's you again. I haven't seen you since, about 10, 15 years, but I could look at your braids. And she looked at her like, it's you. Like, I know because we don't see too many blacks out here. Oh my God. Yeah, they do this witches ceremony in part three that was pretty like crazy. And they did like the dance from like the Wiz. Two of one of two. Oh, I was like, what the hell am I watching? I thought Anakin was the special one, but all along, 100 years ago, it was two twin witches, and they both were a dyad in the Force, and they both could wield lightsabers. They both were the chosen one. Oh my goodness! So we got to see how this plays out. But right now, the third one is the explanation. It's not even the continuation of the series, but this one just insulted the whole history of Star Wars so far. So unless they correct this moving forward, they're gonna have a lot of problems on their hands. Can you imagine the hate mail that's gonna come in after episode three? Oh Jesus, it's gonna be massive. Leslie Hitler knows nothing about Star Wars and his shows. Well, she was Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant. So you know what she was doing. Episode three could have been an email. Oh man. Well, Disney has this woman good, man bad. And because they have that woman good, man bad mentality going, we're stuck in this conundrum. So I will do my power review. And then that's that. So right now, the third one has been the worst episode so far. because yeah, it is definitely stepping on Star Wars lore. Hopefully, they find a way to fix this before it's over. 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics love it. Fans are like, what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, this one here, the first two episodes, I didn't think was as critical as they were making it out to be. But this one here, oh my goodness. Even the spaceship they showed was like the cheapest thing I've ever seen with CGI. Now I know this is a Disney Plus series and not a Star Wars movie, but damn, 160 some $1 million, 180, whatever went out for this. And you couldn't get better CGI than that. I've seen Disney shows that had way better CGI. And that's not supposed to happen with some LucasArts films. They'd have been better off putting a Muppet on a string and letting it bounce around or whatever than putting that little digital thing look like Snow White in the Seven Dwarfs from 1935. Like the little butterflies when those Boonta things showed up. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But anyway, I've talked too long. So anyway, I'm out. Peace.